Thank you so much for coming today. My name is Kara Butts. I'd like to welcome you to Perkins Center for the Arts here in Collingswood. Those of you who have not met me before, I'm the executive here, and I'm so excited to have the opportunity to host this collective of creatives from the South Jersey region in Collingswood, where we can come together and really advocate and work together for the arts community here in the southern part of the region. It's the South Jersey Cultural Alliance has been a terrific partner, and so thank you for being here today, and thank you to Julie for all of her hard work and pulling this together, and just for asking if we could work together on this. So I appreciate that. Just a couple of notes. I'd like to take a moment and introduce some members from our team today who are here. Allison Hunt, our Director of Education, is here.
Hello.
Sharon Keith, Curator of Exhibitions. Marion Jacobson, our Director of Folklife. Casper, who is one of our pottery techs and artists. And I'd also like to invite you to introduce yourselves to our staff members who are roaming around downstairs who aren't up here right now. Matina Lagakos, who's been with us for many years, and I believe Jessica Stardust is going to make her way over a little bit this afternoon. So, welcome again to Perkins Center for the Arts. I just wanted to say a few words about the arts. You know, I think we all refer to the arts with that nice large capital A. It's all encompassing, it's inclusive, and it is designed to be a space for collaboration. Perkins Center for the Arts is committed towards using the arts as a language through which we communicate with all of our communities and through which all of our communities can work together. Using the language of color, texture, music, images, words, culture, dance, food, history, and hope. The arts are a place in which all communities thrive. The arts are a place where all members of our communities can heal. The arts are not a cancel culture. They are a conversant culture, and a culture in which questions can be asked, answers can be heard, mistakes can be made, and work can be done to work towards positive change. On behalf of the Perkins Center for the Arts Board of Trustees, our staff, our Perkins membership, our artists, I want to express sincere thanks and appreciation to South Jersey Cultural Alliance and all of the members who are here today for allowing us to host your annual meeting. Perkins welcomes the opportunity to support a forum in which creative thought leaders from our communities can gather and explore. We welcome the opportunity to support collective dialogue that arts and culture can nourish. And we encourage us as advocates of the common language we share, arts and culture, to assume good intent, question one another, embrace our collective experiences, to elevate, amplify, and share the essential work that's being done by artists throughout our region. The arts are the universal communicator. As human beings, we communicate through written and spoken word, through imagery, through music, and through movement. And without beautiful colors, images, design, music, or words, how do we connect with one another? How do we engage one another? How do we promote collaboration and understanding? Without the arts, it's impossible to do so. So I want to thank you all again for being here, for taking time out of your day. I want to thank Julie again for bringing South Jersey Cultural Alliance here to Collingswood. I hope you enjoy our day with us. There's a lot to be done and a lot to be said, so I'll turn it over to Melanie Stewart.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. It's a great, great day. Thank you so much for being here in this beautiful arts center on a gorgeous day. It's lovely to see you. I'm Melanie Stewart. I am the second vice chair of the South Jersey Cultural Alliance Board. And unfortunately, Corey could not be here to welcome you herself. It's jury duty. I know.
She'd rather be here.
Yeah. Anyway, we welcome you, and we are so excited to see so many of our community coming together once again to celebrate the arts and support one another in our work. I'd like to identify the board members for you today. Could all board members please stand? You'll notice we're all okay. These board members work in service to SJCA and all of you. I know there is a little networking activity a little later on. You'll see that we have these red name tags, and I hope you will chat us up. We'd love to have a conversation with you. I'm here really to introduce our illustrious leader in the organization, our executive director, Julie Hain. Julie has done a tremendous job in building our membership to look to all artisans to be more inclusive and more diverse. So our numbers are growing. She also has focused her work on community connectors. So she's really hoping in the year ahead to do more deep digging and paving inroads to wherever art lives and thrives. With that, let me welcome Julie Hain.
And thank you to everyone who took time out of their busy day to be here with us today. It's quite a scene. We haven't been together like this since 2019. And every time I say that, it feels like I'm making a mistake, but I do a double take and I realize, no, it actually has been that long. But I love the energy in the room. I love that you all are here with us today. And I really, really want to say thank you for being a part of the SJCA community and the cultural community of South Jersey. You are the reason we're here. So I just want to give yourself a round of applause for all of the work that you're doing in the field, because you are the ones making it happen. So thank you. And thank you again to the Arts Collingswood. We are in this lovely space today. I want to take a moment to recognize that the 8 counties that make up South Jersey are located on the traditional unceded territory of the Lenape people that inhabited these areas of New Jersey before the founding of the state, and that we continue to live on these lands today. It's important that we recognize things like this and understand the roots of our communities so that we can build those bridges of understanding and collaboration. So it's important when you have your own meetings that you try and remember to do these acknowledgements as well, to recognize those that came before us and recognize the full scope of arts and culture in South Jersey. Now, the lands that I just spoke of, they include Perkins and Collingswood, the lovely site that we're on today. So the fact that we're here is kind of a miracle if you look back at the past 2 years, but I'm so glad that we are here in this space that is flooded with art and flooded with light, which created an opportunity. As you are sure all very familiar, the best laid plans don't often come to fruition. So you can plan, but you also have to have contingency to be flexible in case things don't go your way. Case in point, we knew we wanted to have our meeting here in Perkins. So we came to do a site visit shortly before just to make sure all the details were in order. And I realized this lovely light flooded space would not be conducive to a standard PowerPoint presentation. I can't project anything. I didn't have the strength to lug a TV up the stairs, so I decided to get creative, as a lot of us here in South Jersey do. So what you see surrounding me here are 3 renderings from an artist in Atlantic City, Heather Arts, and she has some cards up here, so I want to make sure all of you get a close look at these at some point during the program. But what I did was I contacted Heather and I said, Heather, I'm in kind of a bind. I can't do the standard PowerPoint presentation, and I know everyone is going to be devastated that they won't have my bullet points and charts. I need to do something to help these people so they don't cry and leave the meeting. So what I came up with was this. Heather and I discussed SJCA. We discussed our mission. We discussed the work we completed last year. We discussed things that we have in store for this year. And the overarching themes that drive our work, which are connection, collaboration, and inclusive community building. So Heather created renditions on those 3 themes. So here you'll see connection, in which Heather has figures coming together, bright, vibrant colors, displaying the coming together of the community, all different ages, all different backgrounds. And then here we have collaboration, where you see the hands coming together, reaching in for the heart and the flower. So coming together to work together and support each other in this cultural community. And then back here, you have this lovely artwork, which I think is a really fantastic rendering. This one is inclusive community building. And I'm just gonna put this down here so it doesn't blow away right now, but the figures, the vibrant colors, the coming together, it all really illustrates the core themes that I'm going to be talking about today. So in lieu of a PowerPoint, I give you these renderings from Heather Arts in Atlantic City. That we go directly to the source. SJCA's work is heavily based on what the community needs and what the community tells us. So we went directly to the community that we serve and asked them to give us their visual interpretation of the work that we're doing in the field. So I'm really excited to have these. I think you'll probably see them again. They turned out much better than I had even hoped. So I really am kind of in love with the imagery. So if you have any thoughts of what we might do with these things, we're open to that as well. So without further ado, I'll get into the actual remarks. Okay. Last year was a year of transition for SJCA. It was my first year as executive director. We had a lot of operational things to address and systems to clean up. I was the only employee for about 8 months. So I did try and accomplish as much as I could accomplish flying solo, and I think we did a great deal. So we were able to move our offices physically from Hamilton to the main campus of Stockton University, which has allowed us to deepen that relationship, have more access to students for internships, be with the Performing Arts Center and the Noise Gallery, and really have more face time than we're getting in Hamilton's location. So we accomplished that. As I said, we overhauled many of our financial and operational systems. We launched a new website, sjca.net. The new website showcases the map. It has more resources and tools, webinars from around the field. It has digital profiles for every one of you members that you can log into at any time and change your data. So if you go into your member record and you change your email address, that email address will change on our website. It will change on the South Jersey Cultural Asset Map, and it will change anywhere that code has been given to other organizations so that the information stays dynamic and you remain in control. So you can change it at any time. You can delete your profile at any time. You're in the driver's seat and you control how your data is displayed to the community. We continued to grow the South Jersey Cultural Asset Map through outreach, through working with our partners to share data, and through the ability to partner with organizations to expand. So we've taken the map and we're using that database and data that we've collected, and we're creating an app with the Museum of the American Revolution that's going to show not only all of the battle sites in South Jersey, but this mobile app will also contain all of the cultural assets on our cultural asset map. So anywhere you are driving through the state, if you're a subscriber to this app, it will tell you what the cultural sites and events around you are. And there's even geofencing, which is if you're driving by Rowan's Art Gallery and they have a show, it will pop up and tell you Rowan's Art Gallery has a great show here nearby. So there are lots of opportunities for promotion for our members, for reaching out to the audience and expanding your audience base. There are so many possibilities that it's almost too many possibilities. It can be a little incapacitating. So we look to our partners to let us know what their needs are. What are they thinking about? Where are their interests, and what are the emerging needs that they're trying to serve for their communities? And that's how we determine the way that we move forward. Even with the limited capacity, we were still able to move lots of our projects forward and continue to do the day-to-day, the bulletins that give you the grant updates and information from the field, the monthly convenings and artist conversations that we have online. These are all the ways that we keep in contact with you. South Jersey is a very geographically spread out place. We have 8 counties, 2 million people. We're geographically and culturally different in almost every area of South Jersey. We don't have a central rallying point around which we can all come together and say, oh, we're for Jersey City, or oh, we're for Trenton, or oh, we're for, Austin, Texas. We are South Jersey. We're bigger than them. And together we can do anything. And we have the resources and everything that we need here already if we tap into our colleagues and our community and use the existing assets that are here and then collectively advocate to fill those gaps of real assets that are lacking in South Jersey. So in addition to all of these things that we did on the day-to-day, overhauling the website, overhauling our financial systems, growing the map, growing membership, meeting with you, sending out bulletins, we also were able to participate in the Phase 3 intermediary grant program with the New Jersey Arts and Culture Renewal Fund, which was fantastic. Not only were we able to provide $50,000 to artists and history professionals in the field, but we developed some lasting relationships. Some of them you'll see here today. Our musical performers, our artisans, many of the people who are in attendance today were grantees of that award. And we were able to help support the financial negative effects of COVID that happened in the field, build relationships with these artists, and hopefully open channels of communication that continue to allow them to tap into available resources and things that can support their practice and their work. With the grant, SJCA was able to award 50 individual participants with $1,000 each. And those participants included a breakdown of about 8% musicians and music composers, 2% dance and choreography, 2% storytellers and poets, 8% artisan makers, 70% visual arts and mixed media, 5% museums and historians, and 3% theater performers, with 2% being sculptors. So that's a sort of breakdown of those that received the grant. That tells me that we need to do a better job of reaching into the history community, which is something that SJCA hasn't focused on very much in the past few years. But it's something that we're getting back to, and relationships like we're forging with the Camden County Historical Society and with the Museum of the American Revolution and with our history sector in general, those kinds of relationships hopefully will go far to build that area of membership and allow us to understand the needs of that community as well. Because as you can tell from living in South Jersey, it's very difficult to separate arts and history here. They really are intertwined in almost every way. And so I think it's good to recognize both sides and to make sure that we are providing resources to bolster both sides of the cultural community. So I think the best way to illustrate the impact of the work that we're doing is by connecting directly with artists. So I wanted to share with you a few quotes from artists that received the COVID relief grant. Artists like Chanel Renee of Black Girls Paint has come to be a member and frequent collaborator of SJCA's. She was so excited to share the following on her Instagram after winning the award. I've been awarded my first grant. Wow, it's just a year and I still can't believe how many firsts I've experienced since becoming a professional artist and growing an art business. 3 years before, I was learning how to draw and paint while holding on to work that wasn't in alignment with my values and goals. This has unfolded all in my 40s, and even today it takes a lot of energy to step into my gifts and share my work, but I reflect on where I've been and the impact of my artwork makes it all worth it. Thank you to South Jersey Cultural Alliance and to the New Jersey Arts and Culture Renewal Fund for supporting my journey. And the beautiful music that you heard during arrival and that you'll hear again in just a few minutes from Christine Elise Kuf Knotz, they were also grantees of the COVID award. Christine Elise was tragically hit by a car and suffered various fractures and broken bones in her arm, the arm that she uses to play the harp, no less. And the severe injury experienced at the onset of the COVID pandemic affected any revenue stream that she could have made, in addition to losing all of her scheduled shows and bookings, which I think is probably a story that you hear a lot from artists across the field. Elise says, thank you to SJCA so much for awarding us this grant, and thank you for all the work you're doing to support creative beings. SJCA played a pivotal role in distributing these funds widely, equitably, and quickly in the field to support artists in need. And those artists ranged from everything from dancers to comedians like our grantee Ben Leafs, who you'll also hear from later today when he does a small comedy interlude before the networking. Ben says, thanks so much. Leaf is an understatement. This is an enormous help. And I think that sentiment was pervasive all of our grantees expressed extreme thankfulness for the support that we're giving them. And they were so excited to find SJCA and become a part of our community. We gave them all year memberships to SJCA as well as the COVID grant. So they're in our communication channels, they're receiving our updates, they're being invited to our convenings, and we're deepening those relationships and hopefully expanding our outreach even further. Reaching out to such a wide range of artists wouldn't have been possible at all without the mapping project. That really is the foundation of the work we do. It's the place where we house all that information we're gathering from different corners of the field. So through SJCAM, we can identify, engage, and establish communication channels throughout South Jersey with a wide range of artists and organizations and cultural groups that will continue to drive our programming through community input. In fiscal year 23, SJCA has three major programs that we would like to tell you about in addition to the regular membership supports that we already provide. The first is our Arts and Culture Connector program. You may have heard a little bit about this from various folks in the field, or maybe from me because I talk about it a lot. But my idea with this program was to find locally sourced artists or cultural professionals from within each county. I want those local artists to be our boots on the ground. They're like a field representative of SJCA who is a trusted member of the community already. We provide them a list of known cultural assets. We help them to do outreach and expand that reach so that they can learn about more cultural assets and artists that are in their area. They'll host small local and virtual convenings to connect with their local artists and hear what the emerging interests are in the field. And so with that information, SJCA will be able to gain a robust and holistic and complete understanding of the landscape. So we will be able then to broker resources to help foster partnerships and to move the work of the field forward. We have one connector here with us today. As with several other folks that were supposed to join us, life happened. And Raymond Tyler, who is our Atlantic County connector, will be here with us today, but he's very active in the Atlantic City and Atlantic County art scene. He's the Noise Arts Museum Black Artists Matter representative. He's a member of the Atlantic City Arts Commission. He's a DJ, he's a poet, he's an artist. He is all things. He is Raymond Tyler, and we are very excited that he is our Atlantic County connector. We also have a connector in Ocean County. Our Ocean County connector is here with us today, Andrea Soncelli. So give a wave, Andrea. Make sure you chat Andrea up during the networking session. The connector program is just getting started, and it is a pilot year. We had hoped to launch this program last year with 8 counties full of connectors, but we were unable to do that given capacity issues and delays in hiring and all the things. So we decided what we would do is launch it in a pilot form and use that as an opportunity to really shape the program into something solid and create a model that we can then replicate in each of the counties. And what's really exciting is that each of these counties is taking a sort of different form. So Ocean County has Andrea as an arts connector. There's also a history connector who's based in Ocean County, but will oversee some other areas of the state and connect it with the history sector. Then we have Raymond, who's in Atlantic County. And we have in Cape May, Emma Curry, who's a photographer and who is being sponsored by the DMO in that area. So we have a cultural tourism connection in Cape May. The Atlantic City or AC Thrive Fund sponsored the Atlantic County connectors. So we have a new funding relationship there and working with them to support the connectors. The Ocean County Cultural and Heritage Office supports the Ocean County connectors, and SJCA is sponsoring the History Connector because we want to make sure we're prioritizing really outreach into the history field. So we're very, very excited about this program. In the coming month, you'll see some local convenings in each of those areas in Ocean, Cape May, and Atlantic County. We're hopeful that Camden is next. We've got that in the pipeline, but it's not official at this point, so I won't announce anything just yet. But we are expanding. It's growing. It's taking on a life of its own. People seem very receptive to it. I think people are excited to have a local representative that understands their needs in their community. And then those representatives can bring that information back to us, back to the County Cultural and Heritage, and also help to act as a resource or a technical assistance when there are grants and things that are available to the field. So we're very, very excited about the Connector program. We are seeking collaborators and sponsors. So if you know of anyone who might be interested in sponsoring a connector in their region, or if you are interested in becoming a connector yourself, please contact me. You can always email me at jhane@sjca.net. And I'm happy to talk to you about all the possibilities. So, speaking of sponsors, SJCA's Engagement, Equity, and Access Committee is working on a series of mini grants that we want to use to support artists directly. So those small mini grants will be approximately $500 to $1,000 each. And we are going to create a rubric that we will post online, so it will be completely transparent what our priorities in lending are, which are prioritizing historically under-resourced communities, reaching out to artists and organizations that aren't part of SJCA and that are working in communities that we're trying to reach out to, and supporting individual artists directly in the field. Organizations often have many more avenues to pursue funding than individual artists. SJCA recognizes that and has heard that a lot from members and from our outreach in the field. So this is our attempt to try and help support financially as well as support with resources and technical assistance. Let's see. SJCA sponsors not only these small mini grants, but we also have sponsored some large events in an attempt to increase our outreach, deepen our relationships with community partners. Most recently, we were a sponsor of the Latino Festival in Atlantic City. So we had a tent there and we worked very closely with the Hispanic Association to plan the event, to promote the event. And we had a tent that was a collaborative effort there as well. So we had Props, which is an organization that does our farming and farmers markets in Atlantic City, bring some of their garden signs to the tent. Atlantic City Arts Foundation came to the tent with us. We had Hispanic artists there that helped community members come and paint the signs. The signs are now going to appear in Props events all over the city so that the community took part and then can see themselves in these events that are happening around their neighborhoods. So it was our attempt to sort of bring everything full circle, partner with the Hispanic Association, support their event, promote their event, deepen that relationship, but also have their community be able to become involved with our community in deeper ways. And that was very successful. The event typically has about 7,000 people, and it seems like about that many were there over the weekend for sure. We have also hosted other events such as Camden Fireworks and their Quilting Guild. So the first Saturday of every month at Camden Fireworks in Camden, there's a Quilting Guild. And the Quilting Guild is really intended to welcome quilters of all ages and experience levels, to bring your fabric stash, come together, practice textile arts, and socialize to really learn. I've been to a couple of the events. I brought my mom to one of the events. It is really fantastic to see young people and old people and, African American people and white people and neighborhood people and people coming from outside of Camden just for the quilting circle, really all coming together and just chatting and learning and talking and showing each other techniques and really forging bonds that otherwise they would never be able to forge. So we were appreciative of Camden Fireworks for the programming that they do. We were happy to be able to support that work. We also help to support organizations throughout the field with technical supports and resources. Most recently, we've been working with Chicken Bone Beach Historical Jazz Foundation to help them with some board development, strategic planning advice. So we're helping to connect them with the resources they need to build their board, build their business plan, build their marketing, and expand their audiences because they're doing some great work there. Another program that we are very excited about this year is our Cultural Asset Field Survey. So the first phase of our map was find everyone and figure out how to talk to them. We did that part and we expanded our membership database from about 85 to just over 1,000 cultural assets. Now that includes destinations, individuals, organizations, galleries, festivals, all the things in arts and culture. So it is a wide net, but we do have lots of partners in the field that we are able to assist and learn from. So we are going to form a committee of partners in the field, whether they are artists or administrators, cultural leaders. We're going to have this committee form some questions to help us really understand the ways that the communities are working. So now we know where you are, how to talk to you. We want to know what you're working on, who you're working with, who's funding your work, who's not funding your work. What communities are you serving? What's your favorite way to market your program? So, there are lots of questions we could ask. We don't want to overwhelm. Everyone is surveyed out, but we do need to ask questions to have the understanding to make sure that our programming is on target for community needs. And so we're going to develop that survey with user experience in mind. We're not going to have it be overwhelming. It's not going to be 20 minutes long and scrolling until you feel like you can fall off your chair. It's not going to, bombard them with question after question. We are looking at software and ways to divide that survey up into sections so that we can get an initial base of information and then build on that with engagement type questions that we can then continue to compile in the database, gathering there an overall holistic view of the community. So we're hoping that that survey is launched in November, and then we're going to close that shortly after the first of the year and take some time to summarize that data. We're going to take that all, analyze it, and really understand what it says about the cultural community, their needs, the way they're working, who they're working with, who they should be working with. And then we will summarize that information and re-release it to the field. So you will be able to benefit from the knowledge that we gained from that survey. And we are certainly open to addressing questions from the field. So if there are questions, burning questions that you want to know from your colleagues in the cultural community, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to see if we can include that in our survey. So as we take a look at all of our programs, we want to hear from you more. Community members are the heart of what we do here. If you're interested in getting involved in SJCA, there's a number of ways you can do that. You can serve on a committee. You can volunteer for some of our programs. You can participate in programming like this. There are lots of ways that you can connect. SJCA tries to help initiatives that really help you to connect with your colleagues and create a stronger, more inclusive South Jersey cultural community. To help bolster the audiences necessary to keep your organizations and your practices going and successful and sustainable, we have created our third program this year, which is the South Jersey Culture Pass. South Jersey Culture Pass is a membership, but it's not a membership for those who work in the field necessarily. It's a membership for people who attend the arts events. So it's an attempt to have them subsidize the programs that we forge to help support your work. So I'm not going to come to you and ask you to support the programs I'm giving you to support your work. We're going to go to the audience members and give them a bundle of discounts. So through our 1,000 cultural asset network, we've been able to amass a little over 100 discounts that we can offer to members. So for $99 a year, they get a bundle of discounts to organizations and events all over South Jersey. They get entered in the Art Lotto, which is once a month. We do a raffle of all of our South Jersey cultural asset members, and you'll win either an original piece of artwork from a South Jersey artist, tickets to a concert or a show, free admission to a site. The prizes vary, but every month there'll be at least one prize, and we'll do a drawing for that. The South Jersey Cultural Pass, it's an annual membership. It's, as I said, $99. The Culture Pass Lotto is very exciting. If you're interested in getting involved in that or having one of your pieces be highlighted, we are creating promotional packages around that. If you are a discount participant, or if you're a participant that has given us something for the Art Lotto, we will feature you on social media. We will help to promote your work. We will show you on the website as a key partner, and help you to get the word out about what you're doing. The hope is that by collectively marketing the organizations that participate in the program, that participate in the discount bundle, the SJCA is able to expand your audience while at the same time helping to create revenue to support the resources that SJCA provides to the field. You can find more information about this over on our information table, where we have several handouts, or on the SJCA website. So we've got some big plans for the coming year. Again, I am flying solo, so I will be in the market for a staff member soon. So you will be seeing a job listing coming out from SJCA in the next week or so here. So if you know of anyone who's interested, I'm looking for a co-pilot to help me fly this plane and accomplish all of these big plans that we have here in South Jersey. So for the rest of the day today, you're going to be musically, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to have a musical interlude as well as some comedy before we do our networking and lunch. So without any further ado, I would like to take a moment's break here and let our musicians come back up, get settled, and then they will perform for you. And once they are finished, we will move on to the presentation. So you move some of these things off to the side. Yep. They will be here for the duration of the event, so please make sure you take a close look. They are as cool as they seem. That was the word. Thank you. Awesome.
Oh, it happens to be all the time. One, two. Yeah. Greetings. How's everyone feeling today? Cool. So I'm Kuf Knotz,
Christine Elise.
and we are touring artists, fresh off a tour of Alaska, and happy to be back here in Jersey. Thank you for having us. And really, we're just going to play a few songs. Before we jump into our sets and start the songs, we usually like to take a few minutes to just breathe and kind of calm the energy. Life moves really fast, and it's important to take those moments to breathe. And as we do that, we share a mantra that we aim to live by. Today we plant the seeds for the life that we long to live. We remain open and willing to flow with life's changes as we understand those unseen curves in the road come about more often. We take each activity one step at a time. We know there's no need to rush, just breathe. Today we will see the world with enthusiasm, curiosity. Today we will step outside of our comfort zone, as we know that's where the true magic lies. We know that each breath is an entryway to inner calm, peace. Just breathe. We know that setting goals for the future give us direction in the present. We are all works in progress. That's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So this first song is called Cycles. Cycles are set and put in motion and continue moving in that direction. And it's important as cycles are. just as important to break cycles. So this is breaking cycles. When you break a cycle, it allows growth. It's been a long road, a lot of obstacles, but I found myself in the mix of it all, a little light show. So I took that in and let it guide me through life with an abstract pen, thoughts captured. Now my mind's at work, not even realizing what this artist's work until I struck truth that it all got clear. My past, my present, true life lessons, found me lost, friends and women, off the wonder, the reason for this division. Then I realized we got different visions. So my stroll became one with those like-minded, those that inspire and push me higher. Yeah, those that inspire and push me higher. Gotta break the cycles. How can things ever change if we remain the same? Gotta break the cycles. How can things ever change if we remain the same? Break the cycle. This is vital. Growth and change is part of our survival. Break the cycle. This is vital. Growth and change is part of our survival. Break the cycle. This is vital. Growth and change is part of us. Break the cycle. This is vital. Growth and change is part of us. Thank you. Cool. So this next song is called New Days. And this song is basically just being thankful and grateful for each new day we see, each new morning. We know tomorrow's not promised for any of us. So we take full advantage of every new morning and new opportunity presented. And just focus on what's ahead and letting go of the past and things that no longer serve us. This is New Days.
Yeah, yeah. I want to run
Cool.
back to the old life. Someone said I love this. Yeah, yeah.
Yo, I'm just staring out the window. Days move fast, but I'm taking it in slow. You know the seas just remain calm. Surrounding me's the storm, but it don't last long. I know the piercing sun soon to brighten any grim. hook a feeling it might have been. Yeah, it's all love inside of the temple. When you enter, look up, keep a positive mental. We breed thoughts and ideas so nice, uniting, not dividing, so we grow jaw tight. Yeah, I reminisce of all the beauty I've known as a youngin'. Mama showed me different ways to go. In my left ear, yep, and right out the other. But some years later, I've rediscovered, uncovered those precious gems. Thank you, Mom. You knew it sinking. It just took some time. And now we move steady with this heart of gold. And I'm paying what I've gained so the youth can grow. Spiritually, say la vie. Through these sounds and words, we found our grounds of peace, firmly planted. Outstanding, joy to say the least. Now the comets landing, illuminating space, sharing rays of light. We travel so far with the pure divine. It comes unscheduled, but always on time, time, time. And that's spread. Hello. New release. Think we have time for one more? Okay, cool. Once again, I'm Kuf Knotz.
Christine Elise.
And if you're enjoying what you hear, please do check us out. Follow us on all the social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. This last song is Be Free. Free yourself. Free your mind. Be free. 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 Yeah, speaking freedom, releasing those locked cells. Some choose to breathe and exhale when all else fails. I'm seeking peace through this journey of change. Experience is priceless, shows us new things. What's so needed? Stay humble, believe me. Just searching and reading our own teachings. Growing every day and paying truths for free. Get it, live it, love it. The blessing is so real. Trapped between these thoughts, running laps on hope's wheel. Knowing that tomorrow holds those dope thrills, pushing here to Brooklyn, low valleys and deep field. No matter where you live, your dreams a big deal. Be free. Free. Yeah, waking up early, fresh breeze in the rooms lit, glares out the window from the ratings, and it's so sick. Moment to be grateful for the fruits of this planet. Every day is another blessing, a lesson to cherish. Be at ease, it's peace how the clouds be spinning. Rotation is the motto, take a minute to listen. Every circle met, another cycle complete. The cycle they read knowledge if you travel and see. Absorbing wisdom, teach the children. Respect the women, they hold the womb that carries life. Divine and so healing, defining on purpose, breaking free, no ceiling. Open atmosphere and amazing feel of being free. We operate on these frequencies so we can be free. We operate on these frequencies so we can be free. Free. Self-love they cause jewels and wealth. Best love we found was love for self. If y'all feeling good and rocking with us, when I say self, you say love. Self, 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 self. Thank you all for being here and thank you for having us. At the end of our shows, we usually take a picture of everyone. Is that okay? Can we take a picture of everyone real quick? Awesome. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
I should have done that this morning. I needed the relaxation then. Amazing. Thank you so much. So in the spirit of all this collaborative and partnership talk that we've been having today, I would like to bring up an artist colleague who has an exciting new project that he would like to announce to you, Mr. Kenneth Lee. Please come up front here. Type initiatives to help sway the town council from Runnymede to love his work the way that we all love his mural projects. And he's expanding that, and we are partnering to bring something new to the South Jersey community.
Great. So I'm really happy to announce today the start of South Jersey Mural Academy. So it's starting like just with you guys in this room. It's an idea that I'm putting out there. One of the things that happened this year is, if you don't know me, my name is Kenneth Lee. I'm the president of a local arts organization called Reimagine Runnymede. And I'm an artist that lives in a small town that looked around and saw how beige my town was and thought, you know, maybe the town doesn't need to be quite as beige as it is and could be a little bit, you know, like I've seen the way, you know, again, I'm speaking to people who already know what I'm going to say. We know how the arts can transform our communities, but it's not happening. So what do we need to do that? So, you know, I started painting walls, doing things like that to try to bring some color into my town. So this year, our arts organization applied for a grant from the Camden County Cultural and Heritage Commission, and we got $10,000 to hire a muralist to come in and do a beautiful mural on one of our buildings. So I wrote the request for qualifications, and I put it out there through Julie, sent it out to the South Jersey Cultural Alliance Network, and then I put it onto publicart.org and different places. And we received applications from 20 mural painters who replied that they were interested in our project. But I was really hoping I would get somebody from New Jersey, even somebody from South Jersey. But what happened was we had 5 artists apply from New Jersey, but when the selection committee looked at their work compared to the whole pool, they didn't score in the top tier. So what that really showed me is the artists down here need more training. So how can we do that? So this is one of the things that I began to gnaw around this idea. There's a building in my town that it's kind of a big warehouse building that's surprisingly beige. I don't know why, but it's beige. And the back wall has already had some tagging on it. So I went and I talked to those people and I said, hey, how would you feel? Like, could you imagine a mural artist coming in as an instructor and teaching a workshop where they're doing something on the back wall of your building as a classroom space, and then that class goes and does something on the front of your building. And then we repeat that with another muralist coming in, and we just keep doing that, and we slowly start to cover your building. And they were like, that would be amazing. Can you make that happen? And I said, I'm going to try to make that. So that's one of the things that has begun to happen. So where I'm at the point now is I'm going to share with you the vision. The vision is that there's a South Jersey Mural Academy, that the instructors that come in to teach the workshops are paid. The cohort of students that takes the workshops do not have to pay to take the class. They're getting trained. Somehow we are making arrangements with property owners that have walls that want murals, and then those murals are getting accomplished through that. And then also there's some sort of sponsor, corporate sponsor or somebody that's paying the money to do that. And then there's paint being donated through the thing. So all of those are some of the ideas. And Danielle Cartier, who's in the back of the room, who I've got to wave to. Danielle, I shared the idea with Danielle. She came to my studio. We had our first little brainstorming session. Danielle is down in Cumberland County, as well as Omari was here. Omari is on the Cumberland County Cultural Heritage Commission. I'm on the Camden County Cultural Heritage Commission. And I said, hey, let's put our commissions together and see what we can do. So it's another way that we're trying to do this. But I think we're the next step that I see that I'm going to pull the audience here for all your contacts of amazing things is we need a very simple website that has a place for the teachers who say that I want to teach. They can click the button and they can enter their information. The students, I want to learn, they click the button, they enter their information. I have a wall, or I want to nominate a wall, that gets done. And then I want to support this program, and that gets done. So that's all that needs to happen with the website. It's pretty clear, 4 pages, 4 buttons. So somebody come up and say, hey, I can help you do that. And we can get that done. So there's I just printed out a stack of cards that say South Jersey Mural Academy with my name as the organizer, and it says class is forming now. So please take those and start to give them out. I also ordered 10 lawn signs that I'm going to start to put around saying South Jersey Mural Academy class is forming now. So hopefully people will start to respond to that, and I'll be collecting their names and we'll start to do something. So if you want to work with me on this, please come up and talk to me. And while I have the stage here, I want to ask one more question. So this is my question of this audience. Is there anyone here in the room that is actually on their town council in their own towns?
I'm sorry.
Are you on your town council in your town at home? Okay, yes. Yes. Okay. So we do have a couple of people. So one of the other things that I have noticed from all these art conferences that I've gone to is there's amazing information about all the things that the arts do for your communities, but that message is not getting to the people that are actually running our towns. And the other thing that Julie's going to help me do, she doesn't know this yet, but Samir is definitely helping me do it, and cultural heritage. But Omari is helping me do it. Is next year in 2023, we're going to be doing a conference that's an arts conference, but it's specifically for your mayors and your municipal leaders. So they learn how they can support you. Because in my personal experience, what I have encountered primarily is fear of the arts. The what if. What if somebody does something that embarrasses us? What if somebody paints a giant penis? Like, that's going to happen. Or like, what if, this happens or that, if somebody gets hurt, what if we get sued? That stuff doesn't happen. But people are afraid of that. And somehow we have to, the message is not getting to the people that are standing in the way. And unfortunately, like I have the aside, the part two of we got $10,000, we brought in, we did an amazing mural. The other side of it, our town council felt like they needed to create a mural ordinance to protect the public from murals. Yep. And I spent my entire summer fighting that because I knew that when our town council created that, that other town councils in South Jersey would look at that as a model for what to do in their town. And we weren't able to completely defeat it. Our town did go through, they changed the worst parts of it. The worst part of it was if you wanted a mural on your building that you owned, you had to send a certified letter with the design of the mural to everyone that lived within 200 feet of your property. And every time I say that to someone, they're like, "Are you kidding me?" So that was one of the things that we were able to sort of, we were able to get that part out of the mural ordinance, but still ultimately our mural ordinance that was passed by our town council would be unconstitutional. If the town council were to be, they could be sued over this mural ordinance if they decide not to allow a mural in town, because they're basically they've created a system where it's totally, arbitrary what gets approved and what doesn't get. It's not content neutral. And that's really what an ordinance should have been, but they weren't willing to go with something content neutral. So, and I'm scared about that because I know that the arts are fragile. They're powerful, but they're fragile. And the creative spirit that comes to us, like this, your butterfly kind of comes down, or a bee comes down and pollinates you, and it gives you, if you're an artist, you have this muse that comes to you and says, and you got to do it right now. And you get so excited about that. And you work yourself up, you overcome your own creative block, your fear, the inner voice that says, what if it's not good? You have to overcome all of that to create art. And then you have someone saying, we're going to put these restrictions on you so you can't just do it. So I will tell you right now that I am painting a mural in town for free on my neighbor's property, and I have to go to the town council and I have to pay $50 to paint that mural. Like you say, it's only $50, but that's the cost of the permit now that I have to pay out of my own pocket in order to paint that. And I'm looking at that as an art tax that has been created, and it's not fair. So I think the problem is our community has not educated the people that need educating. And those are the people that are not in the room today, because we all know, but we got to do something. So,
Fantastic idea.
Thing for Ken. November 15th, the Art Pride, Pete and Marie here, but Art Pride has invited me to be a speaker to talk about arts and prosperity and economic development. So to your next year's conference, yeah, it's already in the works. So if you know the Emory too. Yeah, but Emory is like Art Pride is doing great things, but I wanted to share that I've been talking through my agency about a state of the arts conference where South Jersey will talk about the state of the arts. We always see politicians talk about their state of the state's address and their state of the cities. So my role within just my agency, Superior Arts, has been to get elected officials to get their SHIP together and understand that arts will serve communities, right? And so when Kenneth came to me about the mural ordinance, I said, well, what is your arts commission and what are your arts councils doing to have that conversation? I serve as vice chair to the Kansas City Arts Cultural Heritage Commission, so I'm constantly my mayor's ear. He gets mad at me. But the point is, he's put policies in place, and we're talking about what will be a rollout for arts, economic, and prosperity. And Kenneth, you're on the road. This guy, he calls me late at night, calls me very late. We also sit on a Kingdom Cultural Heritage Commission together. So we're constantly having this conversation. So anyone that wants to contribute, please, we need you. And November 15th, there is a governmental conversation happening at the League of Municipalities. So I will be speaking there November 15th. Please, I just call my staff, said, hey, I need talking points. What do we put into this say? What do we say? And this was the perfect segue to that. So I am open and input to my speech because it's not written yet. So please help me. That's all I'm doing.
It's infectious, so you can tell that these things are going to happen. So I'm really excited to be a part of it with both of you because you guys are a driving force. So I'm just excited to be on the team with you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so all exciting stuff. We have a question? Yes.
I know that we're gonna be networking, but I would love to know what people are talking about your hand, like what county.
Sure, let's do that. So if you're from Atlantic County, raise your hands.
From which county?
Atlantic County first. Okay, we got a lot of Atlantic County folks. What about Burlington County? Oh, good showing from Burlington. Okay, we've got some high. Okay, what about? All right, Cape May. Oh, we have some people from Cape May too. Nice. Camden. Woo! Hi. Nice. What about Salem? Good. That's good. Salem. Ocean. A couple of people from Ocean County as well. Wonderful. Well, did that help, Chase?
Yeah, I've been coming from Cape May.
I think you were the only one. Okay. It's virtual stuff in the mix too, but I'm so glad that you all were able to join us today. And we are going to have networking and lunch. Before we do that, I would like to introduce to you Ben Leese from the South Jersey Comedy. He is a organization. They often work with nonprofits to do fundraisers, and he is going to loosen everybody up and get us feeling talkative so that when we get into the networking portion of the event, you will all be conversational and giggly and happy. So let's.
My name is Benjamin Leese, and I'm a recovering nonprofit professional. And personally speaking, I want to see that giant penis. Right? More traditional, personally. You know, a lot of people say that nonprofit work, there's not a lot of money in it, but at my past job, I was making 6 figures. Just took about 5 years to add up to that. I worked for a very large nonprofit organization. We were so big that we raised millions of dollars just by asking our staff to donate. And I'm thinking there's got to be no other industry than the nonprofit industry where your employer pays you and then goes, oh, what? We have that back, actually. So I came here to talk about my work in the nonprofit industry. But all jokes aside, I made some of my best friends at my past job. 10 of us still get together. We have such a strong bond because we share the same cubicle. So I think exactly. I was actually on a Zoom call yesterday with a very large, actually governmental organization, and I feel like I was having a conversation with 2 people because there was just it was like someone was sitting on their lap. The feedback that was coming back. So after being promoted and promoted again, I just grew really tired of that upward trajectory and decided to get into entrepreneurship and start my own business. So I wanted to, I come from South Florida. I'm originally from Philadelphia, but spent my entire adult life in South Florida. And I was really exposed to the great need in the community and the nonprofit scene and those who are haves and have-nots. And I just felt compelled to do more. I didn't know how, but in the meantime, I wanted to make up for lost time. So I went out to visit my brother in Los Angeles, who at the time was the booking director for one of LA's largest comedy clubs. My brother had been a comedian for about 20 years at that point. And the first day I was out there, he hosted the pilot taping for Dana Carvey's television show. And the next night he hosted Elaine Boozler. The next night was the cast from Jackass. The next night it was Craig Gass, who's an amazing impersonator. And I was just blown away by what he was able to accomplish out there in just a very short amount of time. But I never really paid attention to what he was doing with comedy. But even more profoundly, I found that the comedians were getting on stage and transforming how people talked about, transformed how people felt about themselves. They would get on stage and make a room full of strangers laugh, and for 90 minutes they forget about their troubles and their worries. But even more interestingly was that the comedians were using comedy as a form of therapy to talk about the challenges and the personal issues going on in their life. And I thought to myself, now, if we could get the right comedian with the right message in front of the right audience, we could transcend comedy and provide hope and healing for communities. So I came right back to South Florida and I incorporated exactly 7 years ago, actually, this month. And we did the Brickell Comedy Festival. And we had 35 local comedians performing to benefit Habitat for Humanity. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with Miami, but the real estate boom there is disgusting, in a way to put it, because they tear down all the workforce and affordable housing to build luxury skyrises, condominiums, and apartment buildings. What they're doing is they're pushing out the workforce and making it harder for those people to stay and live in the cities that they love and where they're from. So we gathered 35 of the best local entertainers to benefit Habitat for Humanity, because I wanted the community to realize what was happening. And amazingly, we had 400 people come out on a Wednesday night to support local entertainers. And if you know the Miami market, it's the hardest market in the country for live English entertainment. And we were just blown away by that. So we said, okay, let's try this again, let's see if it works. Next month, we did the Wynwood Comedy Festival in another gentrified neighborhood of Miami, and we had 500 people come out on a Wednesday night. And that was 7 years ago. And since then, we've worked with over 400 nonprofits across the country. We've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for those organizations, and we just keep going. We've become known for our community comedy festivals. I moved up here 2 years ago, so we're just kind of getting things going on here. But some of the festivals we've been known for are the Pride Comedy Festival to benefit the LGBTQ causes. I should also mention the name of my company is Comic Cure. We produce shows to benefit local nonprofit organizations, and our mission is to support local entertainers as well as local nonprofits by using the unifying power of laughter to uplift and engage communities around important causes. So, as I mentioned, the Pride Comedy Festival to benefit LGBTQ+ causes. We do a show called Black Lives Matter to support communities of color. We have our show called United We Stand Up to benefit veterans organizations, and that features comedians that have served in the U.S. Armed Forces. We have a show called Stand Pup Comedy, and that is to benefit animal organizations. And actually, this show in particular floated us through the pandemic. It used to be in person in Los Angeles at a dog cafe, where we had celebrity entertainers come in, and the animals would come up and sit with you and cuddle them and hopefully adopt them on their way out. But when we moved that show online, we were able to get in front of a global audience and benefit over 100 animal organizations across the country. We raised, in just 6 months, we raised $40,000 for over 100 organizations across the country. So that just really took on a life of its own. Since I moved to South Jersey, we've worked with more than a dozen organizations here, including Perkins Center for the Arts. We've done shows on the lawn in Moorestown. We've done 2 shows right back there in the dance studio. We've worked with Haddonfield Plays and Players, the Broadway Theater of Pittman, Homeward Bound Pet Adoption Center, Animal Adoption Center in Lindenwold, Highland Fire Department, and many, many more. Most recently, we partnered with the Eagle Theater in Hamilton. Give it up for the Eagle Theater, everyone. And Alonzo. Assistant Director. The first night of the festival, we had an all Latin American lineup of comedians to serve that growing and wonderful Latin American community in the Hamilton area. And the second night, we held Jersey's Funniest Female, a contest featuring 13 comedians that traveled in from across the state to compete for that title and $500 in prize money. And it was a sold-out show. It was a fantastic success. And we're looking forward to bringing that back in the future. So I'm currently on paternity leave, but would love to partner with any of your organizations in the future. I don't know if we have time, But one of the things we do at Comic Here is we teach stand-up comedy. We realize that it's important, like Kenneth said, is to develop the next generation of comedians. Anyone who's interested in learning stand-up comedy, maybe you want to check it off your bucket list, but maybe you want to explore something that would help you and get in front of an audience, overcome your public speaking, learn more about that, and become. And you never know, it could just become something really great in your life, a way of self-expression. Yeah, I think I'll end it there. I was going to do an interactive workshop and teach you how we do stand-up comedy and joke writing, but I think let's get into networking.
Everybody.
You can come see me after.
Great.
Okay. You can never leave up to a poll. Thank you so much. Thank you to the South Jersey Cultural Alliance and the grant that they provided. One thing about being like a solo entrepreneur is that you're so focused on the show that's next that you don't focus on the show that's after that one. And oftentimes you end up needing some relief. And so thankful and appreciate it. Thank you so much.
For the presentation portion, I just want to mention a couple of things. Over on the information table over there near where Benjamin is standing, there is information about SJCA programs. There's some information from Tuckerton Seaport, also from the Stockton PAC. But there's also these two sheets. One is a gallery crawl. So when you're done with your networking and lunch here, if you still need more art or you want to get out and have a reason to wander Collingswood on this beautiful day, you can go visit these 4 galleries. They're listed here. Kimberly Camp is going to be available at Gallery and Marie to speak with people who visit the gallery. She said anytime after 1 o'clock, she'll be available to chat with you and tell you all about the things in her gallery. And she is a great conversationalist, and make sure you carve out enough time for that because she has a lot that she can share. And then I wanted to point out during the networking, we have an activity sheet here if you're so inclined. It just gives you a few questions to sort of guide your networking and help you do a fun activity. If you feel like doing this, you can, and then you can fill out your name and email on the bottom of the form, stick it in that empty little jar over there on the table, and you'll be put in a raffle for a wonderful prize from Perkins Center for the Arts. So without any more delay, I'm going to let everyone have some lunch, chat with each other, network. Thank you again for coming. We wouldn't be here to do our work if you weren't, in the community doing yours. And it's so vital that we continue to prioritize arts and culture as a tool for building strong and inclusive South Jersey. So thank you everybody so much.